So we must understand that we each have an individual identity that is identifiable with the Spirit of God. Slap somebody and tell them, I got ID. And so, consequently, the enemy comes and tries to steal our identity. But he can't physically take it from us because it's who we are. It's in the makeup of our creation. So what he does is he waits. Somebody say wait. He waits until we are born because we are no longer just creation, but we have been transformed into formation by putting on the dust of the ground, which we call flesh. So once the devil realizes that we become a fleshly being, he attacks our ear gates and our eye gates so sin can penetrate and stay there long enough to become a personal demon. Oh, I feel the Spirit. And some of us got some personal demons because we have sin in us from a long time ago that we've allowed to linger. We haven't let it go. We've done stuff back when we were 20 and we still can't let it go. My God, we're 40 years old still going to the club. We're 50 years old still smoking reefer and drinking. They become personal demons because they've lingered too long. Somebody say, let it go, let it go, let it go. But when the devil attacks, God has to say to him, you're too late. Because I already knew my child before they were formed. And so I know that that demon that is trying to overtake them is not who they are, but it is because of the flesh that they had to be wrapped in. Oh, look at somebody and say, that's not who you are. Oh, Jesus. And he says, I know them already. And that's not who they are, so that's why I can forgive them when they mess up. That's why I can still love them when they do wrong. That's why I died for them. That's why I paid the price, because I know that I created them with a purpose. And if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. Look at somebody and say, God knows me. God knows me. Amen. And so the second task, somebody say the second task. The second task that God performed was that before we were born, he sanctified us. Yeah, and this step happened after we had been transformed from creation to formation. Because at this point we were already formed in flesh and put in our mother's womb. We were just waiting to be birthed out. And so God understood that he would have to sanctify us in this stage. Somebody say this stage. Because in the creation stage there was no flesh. In other words, there was no sin. In other words, there was no reason for sanctification. So in this stage of flesh, he had to sanctify us. Oh God, oh God, oh God. In other words, God set us apart from everybody. Look at somebody and say, I'm different. No, say it like you got some money. Say it like you're really different. Say it like you're stuck up. Say, I'm different. That's why I'm not as troubled as some of my peers. That's why I never really did fit in. That's why I never really could get into as much trouble as I sometimes wanted to. That's why I didn't feel comfortable in certain settings, because I'm sanctified. And I never, this is my personal testimony, I never really could find true friends in the world. Never could find supportive people or like-minded individuals or people who were just like me. And it hurt. And I had to pray about it, and God had to tell me, you're looking in the wrong place. Stop looking around you you. Your Creator knows you. Your Creator sanctified you, and He has great things in store for you. That's why Ecclesiastes 12:1 says, remember now, thy Creator, in the days of thy youth. But it's tough growing up, not quite being like everybody else. Being in the world, but not of the world. Being chosen for a predestined purpose. Being a preacher's kid. Oh my God. I said it's hard sometimes. Because you're lonely. You're exiled. You're strange. You're weird. You're not allowed to go here and there. You're not allowed to do this and that. Oh my God. And sometimes coming up in our ignorance, we ask God, why? Why me, God? Why am I so strange? Why am I so different? Why am I so irregular? God, why? And God replied that there's something in your identity that I can identify with. There is a spirit of humility upon you. There is a sincerity about you, and I had to sanctify you before you were born so that those people that you are around could not take your identity. That's why you felt a disconnect between you and those so-called friends you had. That's why you didn't quite fit in with that group that you thought you were supposed to be in. Because people hang with people that they can identify with. And quite honestly, your identity was just a little too different. Look at somebody and say, you just can't hang with everybody. After this service, you may need to go tell somebody that you allowed into your life, baby, I love you, but I just can't hang with you because I just don't identify. Oh, y'all can feel me. Tell that person, God sanctified me before I was born, and quite frankly, you just ain't got it like I do. Look at somebody and say, God sanctified me. And so, the last thing that God did before I was born was that He ordained me. Look at somebody and say, I'm ordained. And as I read this scripture, God spoke to me. And He said, tell my youth that what is already done cannot be undone. And I said, God, what are you saying? God, what does that mean? And He said, no matter how hard you try to run from it, no matter how much you try to hide, no matter how much you try to reject it, you've already been ordained and the decision cannot be undone. God said you're going to preach. God said you're going to prophesy. God said you're going to pastor. God said you're going to operate in my gifts. God said you're going to evangelize. God said you're going to sing. God said you're going to play. God said you're going to travel the world. God said you're going to be my minister. God said you're going to be all of these things. And if God said it, you can bank on it because Numbers 23:19 declares that God is not a man that He should lie, nor the Son of Man that He should repent. If He said it, then it shall come to pass. In all of my life, I was told that I would preach. It was prophesied unto me. And yeah, I ran from it for a while. I did my little running. I ain't that fast, but I did my running. But for some reason, I just couldn't shake it off of me. I just couldn't get it off of me. As much as I ran, as much as I moved over here, as much as I went to Chicago and Arkansas, I just couldn't get it off of me. And this is because it was encoded in my DNA. because my father is a great preacher. But it's because God ordained me before I was formed. Let me tell you something, young people. The biggest favor that you can do yourself is to stop running from God. Oh God. I said the biggest favor that you can do yourself is to stop running from God. Because you're like a hamster in a wheel. You're running as fast as you can, using up all your energy. You're going, but you're still in the same place. You're not going anywhere. You're running in place. And you can run as fast as you want, but you can't hide from God. And the only thing that you will do is tire yourself out. Running to drugs, running to alcohol, running to men, running to women, running to the club, my God, running to school, running to Arkansas, running to Chicago, running to different states, running to Texas. You can't run from our God. Oh God. They say God is omniscient. That means He's all-knowing. He knows where you're going before you're going. He saw your life before it happened. So if you try to run, you can't outrun God's mind. Well, my God, by your running, you're stopping somebody else from being delivered. I said by you running, you're